That energy becomes focus. That focus becomes clarity. And that clarity becomes action. This is why people often feel more capable after standing up, stretching, or taking a deep breath. They access the state that thinking alone could not create. Physiology also shapes your identity in real time. When you move like someone who is confident, your brain begins to adopt the identity of a confident person. When you breathe like someone who is decisive, your brain begins to think like a decisive person. Identity is not something you wait to feel. It's something you condition through repetition. Every time you change your physiology intentionally, you reinforce that new identity. Over time, the gap between who you are and who you want to be begins to close, not because of external achievements, but because you rewired the state from which you live your life. This is why changing your physiology is the fastest path to action. It doesn't require belief. It doesn't require motivation. It doesn't require perfect circumstances. It only requires a decision to use your body as the switch that controls your power. The moment you shift your breath, your posture, your movement, or your energy, you interrupt the old pattern and create a new one. In that instant, you gain access to strength you thought you didn't have, clarity you believed was missing, and courage you believed needed time to develop. Massive action is born from moments, not from months of thinking, and the body is what creates those moments. When you master your physiology, you master your state. When you master your state, you master your behavior. And when you master your behavior, you create the momentum that carries you toward any result you desire. Your emotional state changes the moment your body changes. Because emotion is not something that happens only in your mind. It is a full body experience driven by the signals your physiology sends to your brain. Most people try to change how they feel by thinking differently, but thought is the slowest path to transformation. The fastest path is physical. The instant you shift the way you breathe, the way you stand, the way you move, or the level of energy you bring into your body, you create a biological interruption that forces your emotional pattern to change. Your body and emotions are inseparable. One leads, the other follows. When your body collapses, your emotions follow into fear, hesitation, or sadness. When your body strengthens, your emotions follow into confidence, clarity, and certainty. This connection is immediate, powerful, and available to you at any moment. Look at how quickly your emotions shift in everyday life when something physical happens. You might be feeling low or disconnected, and then suddenly you get up, stretch your body, take a deep breath, or walk outside, and within seconds, the emotional heaviness begins to dissolve. Nothing in your external world changed. Your responsibilities, your challenges, your goals are all exactly the same. But the moment your body changed, your emotions recalibrated. This is because your nervous system responds first to physical cues, not thoughts. Your breath tells your brain whether you are safe or stressed. Your posture tells your brain whether you are confident or uncertain. Your movement tells your brain whether it should prepare for action or retreat. Emotions are simply the brain's interpretation of these physiological signals. Change the signal, and the emotion changes automatically. They understand that emotion cannot be reliably controlled through thought alone. It must be conditioned through physiology. It's the same reason why people experience emotional breakthroughs during physical activities like running, dancing, or intense workouts. When you push your physiology into new levels of energy or motion, your emotional patterns loosen. The tension releases. The mental fog clears. Insights appear. You begin to feel capable again. This happens because the body forces the brain to produce new chemicals, endorphins, dopamine, adrenaline, creating an emotional landscape that feels completely different from the one you were in moments earlier. The external world didn't magically improve. Your physiology changed, and your mind began to interpret the world through a new emotional filter. Your emotional state at any given moment is simply your body's feedback loop. If your breathing is slow and strong, your emotions lean toward calmness. If your posture is tall and open, your emotions lean toward confidence. If your movements are lively and expansive, your emotions lean toward joy, power, and engagement. And if you consistently repeat certain physical patterns, those emotional states become familiar, conditioned, and natural. This is how people build habits of positivity, resilience, or determination. not by thinking about them endlessly, but by embodying them physically over and over until the brain accepts them as a new baseline. The moment you understand that emotions follow physiology, you gain personal power. You no longer have to wait to feel like it because you know how to create the feeling. You don't need permission or ideal circumstances to shift your state because the tool is already built into your body. If you want energy, you move energetically. If you want confidence, you stand confidently. If you want clarity, you breathe with intention. Your body becomes the master switch that controls your internal world. The emotional state that once felt random or uncontrollable becomes something you can influence at will. When your body changes, your emotions change, and when your emotions change, your decisions, actions, and life change with them.